together through everything, even the smaller things, even the harder things. We stay together, yeah. Through everything, even the bigger things, nothing's impossible if we stay together, yeah. You joke, I joke, so we laugh together. We shed, we cuss, but we learn together. We hurt, we fuss, but let's hurt together. I live, you live, so we live together, through everything, even the smaller things, even the harder things. We stay together, yeah. Through everything.
Alright, welcome to another episode of Can You Connect? And this is Mr.WalkThatWalk. And today's episode, we're going to be going over bipolar disorder. So there's going to be bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. So for bipolar 1 has a manic episode, a hypomanic episode, and a major depressive episode. Bipolar 2 has only a hypomanic episode and a major depressive episode. But we're going to start with bipolar 1, who has all three, and we're just going to go over all three. So for a manic episode is a distinct period of abnormally and persistently elevated mood. They're expansive, it's an irritable mood, and an abnormally and persistently increased goal-driven activities. So they become hyper-focused on an activity they want to accomplish. This will be lasting for usually at least 1 week. And it could be during that week is usually for, let's say, most of the day, nearly every day. And during the period of the mood disturbance, they deal with an increased energy, and it's a noticeable change that other people will see in them. So it's a different behavior from their usual behavior. And it says it's only if it focuses on if it's an increased energy, it's only 3 symptoms. They can only have 3 symptoms. They have 3 or more. And if it's only their mood that's disturbed, it's 4 or more. So we're going to start with 1, which they would be experiencing. They would experience a inflated self-esteem. So they'll feel like real, these are people that feel like they're on a high horse. They feel like they are, the best. They're the greatest. They're the most awesome person in the world. And they would also experience a decreased need for sleep. So they would feel well rested even though they had 3 hours of sleep. So they'll be back to what they're doing. 3, they're more talkative than usual, or at times they'll be feeling pressured to keep talking. So it's almost as if they can't stop themselves. 4 is they have flight of ideas. So this is perceived as racing thoughts. They'll just have multiple thoughts going on at once. So, maybe if you see somebody have racing thoughts, they're probably zoned out. So they're not present and they're not there. And they often get distracted pretty easily, either by noises or by other things they may see. The next thing is an increased goal-directed activity. So let's say they have this goal of, man, I want to visit all my friends and I'm going to go all these parties. They're just going to do everything. But like, that's their goals. That's what they're going to focus on, is just socializing, seeing people, and maybe meeting new people. Another thing could be work. So let's say they're going to spend all their time with work. They're like, oh man, I want to complete all these tasks all in one day. There could be like 20 tasks, but they're going to do it all at once. No breaks. They're just feet to ground running. Same thing with school. They'll spend all their time with school, trying to get done homework and classwork. Even though, let's say for the work and school assignment, they have like, let's say a month to get it done. But once it's assigned to you, they're doing it all in the one day. Like, you have a month. You can spread it out. They don't. And another thing is they will often they'll get involved in sexual activities as well. So they may be having intercourse with all types of people. They're basically more promiscuous during their manic episode. And there's let's say, an excessive involvement in activities with high potential risk of painful consequences. So we'll say they're engaged in a buying spree, so they may spend up all their money buying things. It was like, oh, I have to buy this, and that. I was like, you don't have to buy that, but they're just going out and buying all these things that they probably don't need, but they see it and they want it. And there's also, for sexual activity, again, let's say there's consequences, and maybe they may be having unprotected sex, so they may be getting a STD, or they may be having a baby with somebody that maybe they didn't want to have a baby with. And the last one is making investments. So they're maybe starting a business when they shouldn't be starting a business because they don't have all the support or tools or even a way to do it. They're just, oh man, this has been foreclosed. Let me just buy this up real quick. But there's no game plan on how to keep it up. So these things happen when they're dealing with manic episodes. Their mood is, the mood disturbance is severe and causes impairment in their social activities. And at times they could be hospitalized during their manic episodes. Due to, if you're racing thoughts and you're being overwhelmed and maybe you're having almost like these episodes, these are unusual behaviors to other people. So somebody may call for help for you, and this person may be hospitalized. These are more so things to prevent harm. And manic, as we go again, manic is for 1 week. Hypomanic has the same symptoms as manic episode, but hypomanic only really lasts for about at least 4 days. So we don't really need to go over hypomanic because it's the same symptoms. It's just a shorter time period. And the other thing is going to be the major depressive episode. So the following symptoms have been present during the same 2-week period and represent a change from previous functioning. It could be a depressed mood or a lack of interest in activities they usually enjoy. So we're going to get into the depressed mood is usually for most of the day, nearly every day. So at times they'll feel empty, or they'll feel sad or helpless, and appear tearful. Number two is they have a lack of interest in things that they usually enjoy. Three, they have a significant weight loss or weight gain, or they have a change in their appetite, or they have their appetite is either increased or decreased. They may have insomnia or hypoinsomnia or hypersomnia, which is a change in their sleeping patterns, either struggling to sleep or having a hard time staying asleep. They have issues with, 4 or 5 is like they're struggling with being, they're restless. So, it's always, they're like on edge. 6 is they're either fatigue or loss of energy. And 7 is feeling worthless or having excessive or inappropriate guilt. 8 is a diminished ability to concentrate, or they struggle with making decisions. They're indecisive. 9 is they have recurrent thoughts of death, and not just fear of dying, and recurrent suicidal ideation without a plan. And some do have a plan to commit or have an attempt. But I don't want to dig too deep into major depressive because, we're going to be doing an episode on that anyway. So I kind of wanted to skim but not fully go over it. The bipolar 1 has it, remember, it has the manic, hypomanic, and the major depressive episode. Bipolar 2 has hypomanic and major depressive episode. There's mild, moderate, severe. And these are just things to, let's say, keep an eye out for. When, it could be family that have that. It could be friends. It could be coworkers. It could be people you go to school with. So if you see something, you're better able to point somebody in the right direction, to talk to their doctor, talk to a clinician that could get them evaluated so they could get some help. Because it's important for them to be, medicated and receive services so their life it could be a bit easier than it currently is, because they're dealing with certain struggles. So that will conclude this episode, and of course we're going to follow up with how people are in a relationship with people who have bipolar disorder. So definitely stay tuned for that. And of course, we're going to be supporting Black-owned businesses. I've got clothing from a place called Chimsy. So I think I said it right. I maybe didn't, but I'll put all the information in the description. So definitely check it out. And yeah, I hope y'all like the clothing, and definitely support the people who made my avatar for the art, and the musician who does the intro and outro of my videos, and the people, let's say the TikTok people as well. We don't know if TikTok's gonna stay, but we could support the people, the artists, and while they're there. So. And of course, myself, I'm a clinical social worker in the state of Maryland. I provide individual, family, and couples therapy. So if you're interested, send me an email. All that will be below. All right. So I'll definitely have a good rest of your holidays and, good rest of your weekend.
body needs a bruise and battered. What does it take to become a legend? What can we do to teach a lesson? Is there a way for a future commitment? Oh, no. Why do we wait to repaint the world? When the world loses color, it's our goal to paint them back. Yeah, yeah. When the world loses color, it's our goal to paint them back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Our emotions have no home. Our feelings have no